Alright, good morning year 10. So today we've got two sessions. I'm doing two videos for you. So this is going to be the first one. Factors affecting a country's living standard. Okay, so we're going to learn what are the factors that affect how people live in any country. Now the learning intention for today is to understand the factors that impact a country's living standard. Okay, and again we are going to compare standards with different countries, some of the countries, and the success criteria is that you can identify and explain reasons why living standards differ between countries. Okay, now I've got a little bit of question from you. If you had a choice, what country would you most like to live in? Okay, what are your reasons? So you need to give me some reasons. I would like an answer to these questions in the submission today, and I want to know what country is the one that you would like to live in and why. Okay, now living standards basically comprise of national income, so it depends upon the income of any individual. The living standard, because the income they have, that's what they're going to spend on food, clothing, shelter, and other things that they want or need. Okay, now the living standard is determined from the income of an individual. Okay, now the income that citizens earn on an average is an important indicator of living standard. So average income, it doesn't have to be necessarily the specific income, but what the average income is of a citizen in any country. Okay, as it means that consumers can buy basic goods and services such as food, shelter, and clothing, so they have enough money to buy all these items, but also afford additional goods and services that make life easier. Okay, these additional goods such as cars, refrigerators, washing machines, and computer equipment provide an additional level of convenience and enjoyment. Okay, now again, the standard of living is determined by how much money people have to spend on the goods and services. Okay, now look at this example here. I've got two tables here. So countries with top 10 gross national incomes per capita, so per annum income, and countries with bottom 10 gross national incomes per capita. Okay, it is in dollar value, so it is so Bermuda is the country with the highest gross national income. It is $106,140. Okay, so it's a big money, yearly money, per annum money. And look at Australia. How much is the per capita income? It's $64,680. Okay, now I want you to pause this video here and go through the incomes of the countries. So Central African Republic has got the least income per annum, which is $600 only. Per annum means in a year, yearly income is $600 only. Okay, Congo of Republic, it's $650 per year. So see how the standard of living is going, how income is going to affect the standard of living. Okay, now pause the video here again and look at these tables. Alright, now natural resources, again standard of living, living standards depend upon natural resources as well. Okay, now there are some economists, they believe that factors such as nations' natural resources have an impact on the wealth that can be created and the living standard. Now the living standards of any country will depend on the import and export as well. Okay, so how much money the government is making, the country is making by selling their goods to the to other countries, exporting goods. Okay, now Australia has large supplies of natural resources such as coal, iron, copper, gold, natural gas, uranium, renewables, energy sources. Okay, now we've got abundance of these items. Okay, so we export these items. When we exporting these items, we're getting money into the business. Okay, these resources have allowed us to trade with other nations, earn income, and improve our living standard. So when we are exporting the goods, we are earning more money. Okay, and the government is earning more money. It is also providing work to the people of Australia, because when they're exporting, they need to work to get those items. Okay, so they're providing employment opportunities as well. Now again, government stability. So people's motivation to increase their personal wealth attributes to the growth of a nation attributes to the growth of a nation's economy. Okay, if the people are richer, the government is going to be stable. The reason for that is because when you're earning money, you're paying taxes to the government. Okay, when you pay taxes to the government, that's when they have money to spend on the infrastructure, on goods and services, for example education, medical, okay, trains, trams, okay, transport facilities. All of these come from the taxes of the people. Okay, now another factor is the stability of government. Again, if we have a stable government, it is going to help our country. In countries where there is political instability and civil war, the focus on producing more goods and services becomes secondary. Okay, there's some countries in the world, they having the war going on all the time. Okay, so their focus is fight. People are being killed in the war. Okay, now their focus is not producing goods and services. Okay, because that is not important at the time. They need to save their country, so they are fighting to save their country. Okay, so this is very, very important, in turn making it difficult for a nation to raise its living standards. Okay, now in country where there's always war going on, what do you expect the living standard to be? It's not going to be very high. Okay, we are very lucky. We are in a country which has a stable government, and looking after people is their primary motive. Okay, now labor force. Again, we've discussed labor force, what it is. People who are looking for work, people who are employed or looking for work are your labor force. Okay, living standards also impacted by how a country utilizes its labor resources. So labor resources are the people who are looking for work or who are already working. They're all the labor resources. Okay, now people who are employed are actually more important than unemployed people. The reason again why they are important is because they are paying taxes to the government. Okay, this is, when they pay tax to the government, it allows to improve the infrastructure such as roads, ports, water and power. Many more examples, as I said before: education, aged care, what else can we say, medical, hospitals. Okay, road networks. Okay, trains, trams, etc. Okay, now which in turn allows firms to operate more efficiently. Okay, again, an increase in employment means a country is better off using one of its most important resources, people. Okay, people in the country who is having the high employment rate and lower unemployment rate is actually doing really good. Okay, now labor productivity. Some people believe labor productivity is an affecting factor. Okay, so productivity of the labor means what the labor is working on, how many goods or services they are producing, right? Now labor productivity is the amount of goods and services that a worker produces in a given amount of time. Okay, now there are various ways the labor productivity can be increased. For example, in this technological era, having more machines is going to improve the productivity of the labor. Okay, providing them more training. All right, now it can be increased by providing workers with machines that can help them produce better quality goods and services faster. Okay, now improving the skill of the labor force through education and training can also improve labor productivity. Okay, so these are some of the ways businesses can improve the productivity of the labor, which in turn is going to improve the profit. Okay, now what I want you to do is look at the tables here. So these are the tables from I think the second slide. What I want you to do is list 3 to 5 reasons why there are such huge variations in the standard of living between countries. Okay, now I've got here example from 2 different countries. So children in Norway live in a country with high standard of living, and the children from Malawi, one of the world's least developed countries, carry water long distances to their home. During drought, many children do not attend school to help carry water to their village. I hope everyone knows what drought is. If you don't know, look up in the dictionary and see what it means. Okay, Now, once you write the reasons, these are the questions you should be working on page number 496 and 497. Question number 1, 2, 3, and 6. Okay, this is your work for the first session today. All right. Have a good day, everyone. Bye bye.